You now are listening to the audio podcast of Prisoners of Hope, the antidote to what ails your heart. I'm your host, Dr. Debbora Whitson. So come on in, pull up a chair, and open up your mind as you get ready to receive the download that hope will bring. Well, hey, welcome to the Prisoners of Hope podcast, and I am Dr. D coming at you. I have done a series. This is the fourth part of that series that covers pathway conversation, pathway encounters, pathway connections. And there's a lot of real great information that comes out. And it's kind of like being a spy, a bug on the wall, a- as you listen to the conversation between three people who've had different pathways. Enjoy. Growing up in Europe, a lot of countries, the old people were revered. They were
Yeah.
wise, and
That's
people
so
you
true.
would see people like at cafes, sitting around older people while the older person talked. You would see
Mhm.
that, and especially in Holland. Oh, that was so true in Holland when I lived in Holland. You would actually have see in the park, like you see people playing chess. There'd be people playing chess, and there'd be a whole bunch of people around. It wasn't the game. There was an older man playing. He would stop and say something, and and younger men would have like their notebooks out and writing. And I thought, wow, I thought that's the way it was until I came to the United States. It's
Well,
not
my dad
the
plays a backgammon game called AC Deuce, and I go there and play with him. I've been trying to beat him for like six months, and he's like, he's a strategist and everything. So, I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
there's wisdom, and but the younger generation, having a younger daughter, and had her older, they
Mhm.
aren't respectful. They won't hold a door for an older person
No,
anymore. They
no.
treat you like an annoyance.
Mhm. Right, right,
but think
right.
about it. If we had the kind of world where older people would come like to elementary schools, and there would be, they could share their stories with those young children. I mean, if they were taught when they were young that about the wisdom there, it would be totally different than it is now. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard to do. But yeah, just to have older people come in and have a time for them to tell their story. I mean,
You're
that would
right.
be for the older person. It'd be think of all the wisdom that the young people would gain from that. I mean, it seems so easy.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that I just having my mom pass, I've never talked to my dad as much as I've talked to him. And I've heard stories from him that I have never heard before
Yeah,
because I give him the space to talk, and he doesn't have my mom anymore to talk to. And there's so many interesting stories
yeah.
and things I just never knew. And I keep telling him he should do one of those ancestry books so I can keep track of everything. But you
That's
know,
true. Yeah, there's the and the sad thing is like with my parents, my dad was abusive, but he had a really hard childhood that he never talked about. And sometimes your parents never tell you their stories, and so you don't understand why they might be harsh in a particular way or whatever. But and it's really that's sad to me that we don't even the people in our families, we don't know their stories now we do a thing that is kind of fun. It's called trivia. We do trivia, and it's somebody's birthday.
Mhm.
So like for me, mine is Nona, which is Nona is grandmother in Italian, and Nona trivia. I might ask something like that, like this: what was Nona's first car when she got her first car? What kind of car did she have? Things like that, so that they get a little bit of of history and stuff. But
do one of
then
those books, Chris.
yeah, probably. But yeah, because I wish I had known more about my father and what I know he went through a lot because they were very poor. He was, had to go to Algeria at one time to work, and he was still quite young himself, so he didn't get nurtured as a child. So he didn't know how to be a father. So
Mhm.
it just sets things up like that. But we don't always. I think it would be so helpful if we understood more of their stories. um
Well, there was
you
a lot more children were nowadays people helicopter parent.
Yes.
Back they just ignored their kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were to be seen and not heard. Remember?
Yes, exactly.
One more farmhand, because they've lived on farms. One more
Yeah,
farmhand. Get
yeah,
out in that field.
yeah.
Well, you guys, I've really enjoyed our time together and spending time to speak. And I want to say thank you to Jenny and Chris sharing your heart and sharing your story. I hope it wasn't too difficult to do. Don't think so. Seemed like you guys did it with ease. And and I really, really, really am blessed that you guys are on my pathway as I walk down this pathway of life.
Oh, thank
You
you,
guys
Deborah.
are very special to me, both of
Thank
you. Okay,
the
and
three
You
amigos.
too. We
the
miss
three
you guys.
amigos. I think they paid for the Denver Broncos back in the day. I think they're called the Three Amigos. Well, God bless and thank you
You.
guys. I really appreciate it. Well, I hope you really enjoyed listening to the conversations that took place between myself and Jenny and Chris, two lovely, lovely people. A lot to be learned. I just want to review some of the things that, since I'm a teacher, you could take the teacher out of the classroom, but you can't take the classroom out of the teacher. I want to review some of the things that we learned over these 4 parts. First of all, we learned that connections are important. They are ways that God fulfills his promises in us. A connection can allow you to see the path clearer, right? Right? You talk to somebody, it can lift you up, give you that shot of inspiration when you need it the most, when you're feeling really low. They can help you through uptime times, down times, times of great loss. They really help. And guess what? Connections also give you the opportunity to help other people. And boy, it's once said, a friend once said to me, maybe it was I who said that, but I love Disneyland. I used to go to Disneyland many, many times. I had to work there in the college internship programs. I would call them up and I would go there. No, I'm not putting them on blast. They can bring visitors, and I would go there because it's not like I didn't know that the Mickey and Friends tram was 13.75 minutes from my campus. Anyway, I didn't know that, but if it was the Mickey and Friends tram that take you to the front gate. So I've been there so many times. But what's so fun is that when I would take German exchange students with me there, and it was fun when I went, but how fun can it be the thousandth time? I can't even say 100th time. How fun can it be? But oh my goodness, when you're able to share that experience with somebody, especially somebody from another country or just somebody who had never experienced it and never thought they would, and you're able to share that and they light up. It's actually, if funner was a word, it's funner. It's awesome. It's more awesome than going through the Magic Kingdom yourself, if you know what I mean. But anything, if you say, "Well, I don't like going to Magic Kingdom." Okay, what I'm saying is that when you share and you help somebody, it gives you it's like a double-edged sword in blessings. It blesses you. It's actually fun when you're able to share. Well, I hope you enjoyed this installment. It comes in 4 parts, so if you just caught this last part, yeah, do go back and listen to all 4 parts. And I want to say I'm signing off. God bless you. And I hope you enjoyed your journey on the Prisoners of Hope podcast. My hope is that this journey has been fruitful and you're able to take it and apply it to your life. Until next time, tune in again for the Prisoners of Hope podcast. God bless.